Hello everyone, this is Caillou, and I'm joined today by Matt, and we're going to be commentating the Custom Magic Servers game night, which today is a draft of Kuutalya, a set by the person who's joining me today, Matt. So do you want to explain it, like while we continue this match?
Yeah, so it's a top-down set that's themed around I can't speak. Inuit and Himalayan mythos and culture and that kind of stuff. There's a lot of big cards, big splashy cards, graveyard themes, that kind of thing going on. Lots of creatures matter in strange and interesting ways, like Creaturefall and tapping them and things. And tricolor cards. So yeah, that's most of the things that are theme-wise available. It looks like we have like Naya creatures or Mardu creatures maybe versus Sultai here.
Just be straight red-white monks, honestly.
Yeah, that is. There's the raid bombardment like card that you can build around, which just makes you draft a bunch of these monk token makers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Overseer of Forms is because I think we've seen dragon fodder, but it's a creature like a lot of times, and I think moving the power onto one creature is an interesting way of like completely changing the dynamic of how that plays.
Mm, yeah, it makes it a lot better with like the sacrifice fodder type stuff.
Hmm. So it looks like Dravos is going to trade the Blightling for the Overseer. I don't think that don't know how necessary that was. I guess my thought was that like if you're Dravos, you can let yourself get hit for two and then potentially swing back and gain the same amount of life. But I guess would
Yeah,
not have been able to swing
exactly.
into this Guru of Tumbling Stone right here.
We should ask them to turn hands on when they finish game.
Hmm. Yeah, how are we supposed to get our completely omniscient calls
Yeah,
otherwise?
exactly.
So
Just
we
predict
see
they're
one
gonna
of
pay the wrong card every turn. Obviously, that's
so Guru of Tumbling Stone has one of the set's mechanics Unite, which is when this creature attacks, if it has no +1/+1 counters on it, you may tap two. It's scaled, so you can the mechanic isn't doesn't have a set number of creatures, but here it's you may tap two of your other creatures to put a +1/+1 counter on it. So it's like, so the +1/+1 counter is mostly a tracking thing. Usually, like here, this one, when it unites, you get to impulse draw. So it's very much. It reminds me a little bit of what's that Accomplice from Secrets of the River
mm,
Cities,
yeah.
where
It
it's
does have
like
some.
you are giving up tempo slash the ability to attack with your creatures this turn in order to get a more powerful effect to build
Yep,
yourself up later. And I
you
think
can.
because of the red white monks theme we mentioned, sometimes
Yeah,
it isn't
exactly.
even a cost because you're like, well, these things aren't going to be attacking or blocking anyways, so
Yep,
might as well
you
put them
can
through their paces.
support it with. Yeah, there's a lot of small tokens and defenders and creatures that you don't necessarily mind, especially if there's like an empty board or a small board on the other side. You don't mind. Okay, well I'll tap my 01 monk and 04 wall to make this guy a bit bigger and maybe get some card draw out of it. And it looks like Dravos didn't find a fourth land there. Oh no, he's just starting his turn now. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. A lot of the decks I draft in this format have like seven tap lands in them or something. Yeah, so it's sort of like flashback mixed with a mass almost, where you have spells on the front, sorceries and instants that you play, and then when they're in your graveyard, you can pay a cost to invoke them, which basically attaches them to a totem token. So like a mass, you stack counters on your army, you have to attach all these to the same, like you can only have one totem, and then they give the totem stats or keywords. Like this one, if you attach more totems, it makes them discard cards, so they like synergize in, build a big battle cruiser creature out of it. Yeah, yeah, it's pretty powerful. Yeah, you can also sometimes win combats. It's quite a big pull into. Yeah, we got a Peerless Monk finding a pressure point there and immediately tapping down the Death Toucher, it looks like, which is another mechanics master, which means that the card can find. It's sort of like partner, but it doesn't go two ways. So this monk can fetch a pressure point basically. Mm, mm, yeah, definitely. Finding the right sort of slots, as in what card finds what card, because you have to design the commons in a way that they aren't going to just be taken by everyone, but also you could, in theory, like Pressure Point is a card that you can consider playing as like a 23rd card, and it's not just like unplayable if you don't. but it also is not the kind of card that you're going to like be excited to try and make
Oh,
sure
and
that
it looks
taps
like
before you
Dravos
come.
probably has not hit a fourth land here. This is a
Yeah,
problem.
this is going to be quite. Well, I mean, assuming there's no trick or removal, he can trade the Death Toucher for this now 5/4 Guru,
Mm-hmm.
which isn't the worst thing in the world. Although
Yeah.
it's exiled another overseer, so there's going to be more monks coming
Mm-hmm.
down.
Oh, what's this? Oh, another charm.
Oh,
Jarisa's
nice.
charm. Um,
Are we
so
doing
it's
the indestructible? I'm guessing make a 2/2 Ox and then creatures you control get indestructible because then you can block the with Death Touch guy and keep it around.
mm-hmm. That's actually really good.
Yeah, and you get a 2. So
Because then you can next turn trade the 2/2 for this
monk,
Peerless
yeah.
Monk, and then save the Death Toucher for something big. You're back in the game.
Well, yeah, these charms are pretty they're pretty in draft. You know, you sort of see one when you're in two of the colors or one of the colors, and it kind of pushes you to be in that. Like I didn't obviously end up playing, but when I drafted mine, I was in green white, and I saw like a pack 2 pick one of the Naya charm, and I was like, well, I guess it's not not for high cost for me to try and take this and put it in my deck at later down the road, get some
Mm-hmm.
land to fix and stuff. Didn't choose to play the other monk. I mean, this guy's obviously more stats, but
Yeah,
since
I
we
think.
can't see
But then,
hands,
like,
I was
why not
thinking,
just take the card advantage and roll with it?
yeah, I like I'm a sucker for doing that every time. Basically, if I
Especially
can
because
draw an
because
extra
you're in
card.
like you're in no rush here. Like
Yeah,
like Dravos sure has the Ox, but like you're the one putting on the aggression. Um, and Dravos, as long as Dravos continues to stumble on land drops, you're gonna be fine. But if Dravos stabilizes, you're gonna need to start grinding and trading, and having more
yeah.
cards enables that.
The 2/1 also has just as good of an attack into the 1/1 Death Toucher as the arguably a better attack because you don't really want to trade your Guru for the or your Guru Tumbling Stone for the Death Toucher, but you'll find trading the Overseer. So
Mm-hmm.
since we can't see hands, there might be a convincing reason for this.
Okay, pass Pilgrim. Doesn't have three creatures. Hell, only has three lands. So
Yeah.
Pass Pilgrim is it's a card that just it feels good when it's going off, but right now this feels sus.
Yeah, it's just a Windrake currently, which probably isn't what you want when you're being bashed by.
Oh hey, and Agent hits their third color.
Can play it off the Guru in second main. Maybe unlock some green cards in hand.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Dravos is immediately going to trade the Guru. Oh, and
Oh,
yeah,
there we go.
oh, there we go. There's a Naya card, Kemble Protector. And here we see the Creaturefall. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, you put a +1/+1 counter on it. It gains indestructible until end of turn.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's definitely scary if you have more Overseer forms.
Very hard to block as well profitably. So unless there's removal, it's well. I mean, I guess it's not that scary if there's not another creature, but I can't imagine that since those two cards aren't land,
Mm-hmm.
like one of them, and then it can just brawl as even a 5/3 indestructible hit quite hard, and then require a trade next turn for two things probably.
Yeah, or like, I think I'm scared to think about Kemble Protector with flash creatures. That sounds like a terrifying time. I don't
Luckily,
know,
there's
like the
not too many, but yeah, it's
Okay.
it's definitely a key opportunity.
And hey, Bottled Sunlight. It looks like kind of a riff on what's it called?
Yeah,
Elixir of Immortality.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It doesn't instead of giving you the life hit with a card.
Mm.
Sometimes better, sometimes worse, depending on the matchup.
Mm-hmm.
But it can if you drafted like a sort of grindy Sultai surveil deck, you can shuffle back in your relevant spells.
Oh lord, another green card. Mayuk Den Warden. Okay, so Kemble goes up to a 5/3 indestructible. Oh, no. Does
Yeah.
Dravos have the
Oh,
Losei's
no.
Determination?
Yeah,
Okay.
to
That is
counter
actually
it.
very timely.
Because it also denies the Creaturefall trigger from the Protector,
Mm-hmm.
which is quite relevant. Cuts off its attack now, assuming that it doesn't want to trade the Ox.
Yeah, so it looks
Or
like Blah is just going to attack with the Peerless Monk into the Ox.
which I think you're fine with either. Like, I think you're fine if they take it. I think you're fine if they block. So,
Mm. So yeah, it's just going to take 3. I think Dravos is thinking, what if I need to hold up 2 creatures to kill that Kemble Protector? But I guess that doesn't even matter because Kemble Protector is going to
yeah,
have
because
indestructible.
you can't exactly. You can't even.
On the bright side,
trigger
Dravos
anything.
finally hit a 4th land,
good fours. Maybe. I'm not sure what kinds of 4-drops he's likely to have in his deck are going to be. Well, ones that help. I mean, really just want removal like the Protector. That would be the ideal play.
Like a Ghost Warden's Claim, but that's a rare.
Yeah. Like anything that can get rid of it without it clocking you for 5. Because
again, that swings the game right back in your favor. Because then it's like, oh, we both have 2 creatures on board, but you only have 1 relevant creature, and I've got 2.
Yep.
But it looks like it's just going to pass. Instant speed combat trick. And oh.
Yeah, possible. Oh.
Okay, let's stretch
exiling the other totem, I would imagine.
The 7 mana one.
Earlier,
Yeah, the Seal and Blood. And getting a Shaman means that Kemble Protector is online. That is actually, that's a big game.
He doesn't have the second green to cast it or activate his ability from the graveyard. Because if so, and when that thing attacks, it generates another Shaman, which would then trigger the Protector.
Oh god.
Again.
This deck looks kind of disgusting in an entirely good way.
Quite strong.
Also, I just realized that Kemble Protector is an uncommon and not a rare, and I'm like, yo. I guess it is tricolor, but also, yo.
Yeah, I mean, it does die to, like, quite a lot of removal.
Yeah, like two toughness means it dies to even, like, the red burn removal. Okay, a second Jarisa's Charm.
Pretty strong, yeah. I mean, well, is it? I mean, I guess it lets you snipe the monk and then not take damage from the Protector.
Yeah.
But since the Protector has
but I think you really would love to be able to use the first mode, I think, to just snipe that, Peaceful Journey.
Kind of out of hand. I mean, you can obviously, because it's only a 1/1 when it comes back, you can obviously block it and kill it, but it's going to have generated 2 triggers before that can happen.
I'm trying to, like, what could Blah have that they're holding up mana for?
Maybe just like a big 7-drop or something? I mean, there's also, like, there's nothing you really need to remove, so there could be removal in hand.
Okay, ooh, another totem. Follow the herd. What do you do?
It's a base.
Hey, more lands!
Yeah.
It just replaces itself, so no reason not to.
You can cast a 5-mana Sultai, which obviously it almost puts him up to being able to do if he draws another land.
The problem is, of course, your 5/5 starts looking very sad when you put it next to this Kemble Protector, which is just going to be like, yeah.
I was going to say, it doesn't actually help.
Yeah, he's still going to be able to get in for 2 each turn with this Past Pilgrim, so... Is not cracking this Bottled Sunlight, which, like, I feel like Dravos has had the mana, just crack the Bottled Sunlight. Or I guess last turn didn't, because it was holding up the charm.
Card, right? Yeah, try and dig to remove a thing. You can shuffle the 2 charms.
Oh wait, no, is that a second Kemble Protector? Lord.
Yeah, it is.
So this game is very over, is my impression.
Likely, yes. Because that will trigger the first one. You can attack for 6 now. And I guess it protects against... Well, I was going to say it protects against instant removal, but that's not really true, because you can just do it in response to the trigger. There is a -3/-3 for 3 instant speed at common, which obviously doesn't have, because you would have played it, so this is a good way to...
I'm just like... Yeah, I don't know at this point. Like, does Dravos have a 3rd charm? If that would actually be crazy if Dravos had a 3rd charm.
That would be quite good, yeah. Well, the problem is that they just delay.
Yeah. Okay, no, I was going to crack the Bottled Sunlight, try to find something here.
Now, do you shuffle in your charms? You probably do, right? Like, I'm not sure about shuffling in this counter spell, because I feel like you're dead on board. You can't afford to draw a counter spell, probably. Because you're just going to die to what's already in play. But
yeah, the charms, I think, are well worth it.
Because they at least can...
They buy you time. They buy you time while growing your board, which is huge.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, an instant speed totem. Target feature.
-2/-0, yeah, it's just going to prevent some damage, but...
And then get another 2/2 next turn.
Good to staple onto another one. You can, if you have a totem already in play, you can invoke it to give flying and then attack with it that turn. Presumably get over some blockers.
But Dravos does not have that. Dravos does have 6 mana now, though, so it can get the 5/5 and then make it attack as a 7/7 flyer. But then still, that doesn't even kill in 3 turns. Oh, Blightling. Okay.
I wonder if the rare, the Blight Spreader. I mean, this card's fine to just run a copy of in your main deck if you don't have it.
Yep, and is just going to swing in with this Past Pilgrim just valiantly holding
trying to
holding the fort against these Kemble protectors. Oh,
solo the
that's
entire game.
is this yet? Okay, bringing back the Auroric
Yeah,
Totem.
because this will generate another triggers on these two, which I think is it just lethal on board?
I mean,
There's
they don't.
5 toughness of creatures and then 11
Oh, I
or
forgot. This
12.
also they also have trample. Oh my god.
This is not quite lethal because you block with everything and go to like 3 or 2 or something.
Yeah, but then you need double removal spell and like, oh, yeah, I don't think you get there. Unless
No, I
are there
think.
other wipes in the set? Can Dravos like pull one out?
I don't think there's any in the right colors, unfortunately.
Oh no. Is there like a
There's the
Mardu
red
one?
planeswalker, but yeah, there's an Esper one, but
So it looks like Dravos is blocking with the Blightling. So
maybe
then,
you need to in front of that.
oh no, looks like has another
Oh,
combat
got
trick.
spells. Bounce spell would be pretty good, but I don't know if any of
Oh
them
no,
cheap enough.
is just gonna pump up the Blightling, and then oh wait no, it does actually have something else. It looks like
Ooh,
Totemic Bonds. It gets +1/+1 for each creature you control,
that's
so it
a
gets +4/+4.
4/4.
So
I feel like
unfortunately can't trade, but you gain 6 life.
yeah.
You gain 6 life. You take 6, so Dravos doesn't lose any life.
In that case, is it not better to block the 5/3 because then your thing stays in play? I mean, sure, you take 2 more points. I don't know.
Yeah, I think just that feels like a misblock to me. Like you take one more damage, but that does not matter in the
Yeah,
long run.
but I mean, I'm guessing that it's probably irrelevant either way
Hmm.
because Agent also hasn't drawn any more lands for like the last 3 or 4 turns, so has had constant spells play.
Hmm.
Which
Dravos
is
can flashback the Fall of the Herd though, for
yeah, but
the tusk
all it
tusk.
does is get in the way of because the problem is if you attack now with the 2 protectors and the totem generates another shaman, which then triggers both of their abilities.
Yeah, it's a
I don't think
bad
you can.
situation. It's an
Yeah, I don't
emphatically
think you
not
can.
great situation.
Yes, I don't think you can soak the because you have to soak 14 trample damage at that point,
Hmm.
plus a 1/1 totem and a 1/1 shaman if agent wants to attack with the shaman, which I assume you.
Hmm.
Because it's not like it can even go that badly for you. Because say you do that, you're on 15, so you're not dying to any like swing back.
Yeah, Dravos is in the tank, so not sure. Has one card in hand, so I don't know what. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know if that was a concession.
I imagine so. It did say that Dravos left.
Hmm. Left to be
So
done
could
there.
be that.
Yeah, that was
No,
that was definitely a beating. The
yeah, slightly.
Yeah, I think having trample plus indestructible makes them really hard to deal with in any like creature-based capacity. And
Sort of
Dravos
even
getting
yeah.
mana screwed really did hurt there. But yeah, I still think that like Dravos's deck looked super cool. It just didn't get the mana it needed to function, and
Yeah, I agree.
and I think like, but I think also Agentbla's deck it seems like having decks that are aggressively bent feels really good in this format just because everyone's like 3 colors, but then you naturally get tempo loss due to that. So then going like a 2 color aggro deck just splashing for a bomb instead of like a greedy
Mm,
3 color one. I mean, it's still 3 colors, but like the dynamic of it makes it so that it ends up like eating up the field by just curving out and putting damage on
yeah,
them.
there is a lot of good cheap removal, but obviously everyone takes that highly usually.
Hmm.
So it sort of
And
depends how
like
you
we
approach.
saw,
Once you've got
like you can play the same
yeah,
deck and take like because Agent Blah had the Vow of Silence.
now silence, yeah.
Hmm.
And obviously there's a lot of walls and things that come up the board, but depending on the matchup, you can definitely assemble. I mean, they usually end up having some gimmick to them or some way of like, okay, they're not just I just attack with everything pump. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, there are definitely build like Naya especially is the kind of deck that's going to do that, or green white, or one the pairs of Naya.
Hmm. Okay, so I think with that we're probably going to go offline for now, and then come back in time for the third and final round, which I think Agent Blah will be playing in the finals again, but we still have to see who will be facing them for the
Yeah.
potential crown. But yeah, until then, uh, this is Caillou and Matt signing off.